Hello, everybody. It's Monday night again. My hat's on crooked. So we're in for another Monday Night Live. Looks like we got people just piling in already. Let's see who's all in the chat. Sixth Street Garage, he was here earlier. I don't know if he's here right now, but howdy, sir. We got a few lurkers here and there, so they'll pop up in a minute. But it's been an interesting week. Kerosene Cucumbers, hello. He says, hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in here. They'll just not everybody's popping up yet, but that's fine. Interesting week. We got the, when was it? Friday? We got the dragster from Jeff over to Tony's Garage. Got it in there pretty much uneventfully. KJ Kylie, roll intro. Yeah, let me go. I can go get that while I'm doing this, but I gotta reach over here and I gotta go la 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 la. And I gotta go over here and find it. La 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 la. Anyway, we went and got the dragster, got it in Tony's shop, got some initial kind of looks at it. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. There's gonna be another video on that tomorrow or the next day once we got a little bit more teardown into it. Made a nice parts tray for the blower hat. And I'm looking for that intro. Okay. Okay, one more time. Just got done with that. And here we go. You can hear it playing in the background. I just gotta pop it up now. There's the face. Let's put this down here. Let's get this here. Let's go back to the StreamYard. Let's go to here and share. And once we share, we can hit. Oh, why did you share? Oh, it's over here. That's why they keep moving stuff around. And turn the volume up. Everyone turn the volume up. Here we go. And then here's the challenge of burnouts for distance. So who wants... There you go. There's the intro. They changed stuff. It takes a few more minutes now. KJ Kylie, Robert Meyer, 69 Coronet 500. What's going on? Jerry Vadden's here. Buddy Carfino, I know he likes that intro. And Josh Homan. That's the ticket. Yeah. Here we go. Everybody likes a good burnout. And close that. So, may have some pictures, and sometimes it's hard to see, but let me see if I can pull them up for you here. Pictures, photos. And you can see that. That's the, parts tray for the blower hat. The tray's there. You got to build the bracket so it sits tight, front to back, side to side. And then I got to build a little holder. That made everything go really dark. The camera's got to readjust now. That makes everything go really dark. There we go. It'll adjust. And oh, that's weird. Anyway, I gotta make a push rod stand for that tray. So when you're servicing the push rods, you take them all out in a certain order, and then you put them all back in the same order they came out of and stuff like that. Got the top of that dragster motor torn down. There's some good, there's some bad. You'll see that on Tony's channel in a day or two. Can't really say much more on that, so we'll just let it go at that. But there's some good and some bad. There's no way if we would have put nitro to that motor the way it's set, it would have survived. So it needs a hold. There's some good parts in it. There's some stuff in it that's maybe good for like a startup and a burnout and a little, if you want to cackle it, or in like a 60-foot shot. But for a whole eighth or quarter mile, it wouldn't survive. So there has to be some adjustments, or it'll just be is what it is. That kind of stuff. But you'll see that video in a couple days. And that's what's going on with that. Other than that, still have a Barracuda for sale. A 1965 Plymouth Barracuda for sale. I even dropped the price on it. I think it's down to $5,200 for you folks. Be a smoking deal. But there's that guy. And camera to adjust. There we go. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Everybody wants to own that car. And you could own it. Each and every one of you here could own that vehicle. The emails on the bottom there. Inbox. Okay, the inbox is open. So people want to shoot their pictures. Nathan McCree, what's going on? Fun with cars. What's going on, buddy? That Mustang was good. And it's October by you. So being that it's October, you're not going to be able to drive that car for about 6 months because you live in Buffalo. Just drop it off down here. It'll stay nice and warm all winter. We'll take care of it. Got a nice big garage for it. It'll stay inside and cleaned and nice, and it'll get driven. So just drop it off. Drop it off. Free storage for the winter. I may have to drive it, but it'll be free storage for the winter. Yeah, it was 80 something today, and guess what? You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. Come end of September, you're going to have 17 feet of snow, and you know it. Now, are you in just like Buffalo or like Northern and Amherst, or where actually are you up there specifically? From Buffalo, Niagara Falls. Yeah, and kind of Niagara Falls and Amherst kind of in the middle, but yeah. Anyway, good crowd here, Dr. Yes. We will pay for that. Yeah, you will. That's why the sane of us live not in the north anymore. I was born up north, and I left as soon as possible. I did return errantly for a few years here and there. But it's better not to snow, because the last time I left there it was New Year's Eve day, 99 to 2000. So January 1st, 2000, right? Living in Milwaukee, and there was a big, I don't remember that world. There was a big blizzard snowstorm New Year's Eve and all New Year's Day, right? And I had at this house I had there, it had a long driveway all the way from the backyard side of the house, all the way out through the big front yard and to the street and stuff like that. So I'm out there, and I get this big snowblower, the ones like an 8-horse, something that could throw a cat 600 yards. And the more I'm doing this, out in the cold and stuff, and there's big piles because it's already been winter and it was snowing like crazy that year. Plows could plow you back in, and neighbors are having heart attacks because they're shoveling. And I was out there, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing a human being can do is blow frozen water from your driveway into what should be your lawn, but that's just your snow covered front yard. So I finished what I was doing. I parked the snowblower, went into the house, made a few phone calls, and then the next day I went and rented a U-Haul trailer for the back of my Explorer, loaded it up, and I was gone. Done. That's the last time I've lived there. Okay, but that's how I ended up not living up there. Okay, Fun with Cars, just east of Buffalo. Oh, okay. I don't remember that world. Corner 500. I grew up in Utica, the armpit of central New York. Fun with Cars did super training in Utica. Olives is here. Hey, Olive, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Left in 68. Only back once, I think. No, left in 86. Wow. Okay. Good to have you join us. Hey, Fun. Hey, Josh. Hey, all that kind of stuff. So that was that story. And then packed up, called the guy out west. 7-Up shows your cans commercial. Don't remember it. Packed up, went to Vegas, and lived out there for 13 years. And then moved here, and I've lived here for 12 years. And I've been in this house a little over 10, which is the longest I've been in any house ever in my life. Kind of strange. But Vegas had a couple of houses. First an apartment, then a house, and another house. So that was just kind of split up over that time. Lived Texas, Louisiana, everywhere. So all that kind of stuff. And the reason I left, because I was in military at 18 years old, I was in the Southern California high desert out in Victorville at the now defunct George Air Force Base. And I really like the sun 362 days a year. I got used to that real quick. Snow is bad, salt to put on the roads. Eat your car, and that sucks. Yes. That's another good thing about living out west or down here. You don't have to, if your car is 2 years old up north, everything you touch, you have to, loosen it with a torch. You basically have to melt the nuts and bolts off the thing because it's so rusty. Robert Meyer's been in his house for 31 years. Yes, I was at Shepherd. Yep, you got it. In 1980, that was 85. So shows you how old and rickety I am. Robert's been in a house for 31 years. If I was in a house for 31 years, you probably couldn't walk in it. I'd have so much crap. So you need to move cross country every few years while you're young. That way you leave all the crap that you don't really need or use in the last house, and then you move to the new one, and hey, all this new space, and you buy more crap, you fill it up, and then you move and you leave that crap, and it's a never-ending cycle. So when you finally get to a house that you live in for a long time, it's packed. So, lots of snow and rust here in Minnesota, Idaho. Is there a prison in Victorville? I believe there is now, yes. They built it right across the street from the base after I left. So yeah, it's out there, and directly across the street from kind of where I used to live. But that's how I ended up here in lovely Nashville. A bunch of factors, but I like it. So, what is everyone else up to? K55 into 2006. Yeah, Robert, I have 30 years of truck parts in my buildings. Yes, that's what I would have. Because I already got. Sometimes I go up my garage and I like unbelievable amount of crap. Because when we moved in this house, the garage was empty, right? I didn't bring a lot from the Vegas house. I brought the Cougar and a big toolbox and a couple boxes of crap, right? And now I get shelves of car parts and exhausts and fans and U joints and brackets and metal and more metal and a lot of exhaust for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, just parts just stacked up everywhere. So yeah, Robert, I can understand how 30 years in one place could go through a lot of car parts, especially I don't do as many now as I used to because of work and economy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just to flip 10, 12, 15 cars a month, 10, 12, 15 cars a year out of the driveway. So fixing all them parts on them. Tires, I got a whole pile of tires behind the second garage. I got tires in the garage. And then, ladders, sawhorses, workbenches, engines, transmissions, all that kind of stuff. So just pulled a weed eater, hyper tough, no adjustment, just high set guard. We returned for mother finished interior door yesterday. Just need to paint it. Oh, okay. Do you ever take one of those mob tours in Vegas? Yeah. Once you live out there, all that touristy stuff, you just play tour guide because everybody wants to come to your house when you move there. When I first moved there, everybody I ever known for like it was like almost every other weekend for like the first year and a half. Hey, we're gonna coming down to show us. I'm like, just got here, but you figure out pretty quick how to entertain people, so you don't have to be up till 3 a.m. every night. The trick is you get them up early, right? Like early, like 6 o'clock. They're like, come on, you want to see stuff? Come on, we got to go. And they're like, yay, Vegas. And you take them, you head up towards the dam. On the way to the dam, there's a Railroad Cross casino. I don't even know if it's even there anymore. But they had like a $6 all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. And I'm like, oh, you guys better eat. Because it's going to be a long day. It's going to be hot. So they shove themselves full of food and carbs and stuff like that. Take them to the dam, make them walk the whole dam tour because you used to be able to go down inside it and stuff like that. You can't do it anymore. Walk around, get in the sun. It's starting to get warm. They're like, oh, it's a little warm here. And then you take them right from there and you take them right to the strip and you start them all the way on the south end and you just start walking. You walk between casinos, go in them, sit down, play. About 11 o'clock, you buffet them again, shove them full of more food. So now they're seeing a lot and they're talking and they're just eating and because they're hungry, they've been walking. And then you get them going. You keep walking, you go up one side, down the other, and stuff like that until they're good and tired. And it's only about like 5 o'clock at night, and they're like, oh, "We're gonna go take a nap." And I'm like, "All right, you guys have fun. See ya." And they go take a nap and then go party all night, but you're long gone. You don't have to stay up till 2 a.m. with them anymore. So that's how you take care of that. Actual mobster. Maybe I need to make a coffee is what I should do. Okay, I'll make yourself a coffee. It's still out here in Houston. Vegas in a nutshell. Yeah. But you can do, yeah, you do the mob tours, you do the dam tour, you do the Red Rocks, you do Mount Charleston, you do all this stuff. You show these people all this stuff. You just keep them going. You just wear them out during the day, so you can go home and get some sleep because you live there. You actually have a job, things that you have to do um, during the week. So make yourself all crispy playing tour guide every other weekend. So, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be had out there. You're used to anyway. I don't know about so much anymore, but it used to be. Um, but anyway, and back to your Bob thing. The longer you live out there, the more stories you hear, and the more stories you hear, the more people you meet that are a little questionable, and they have their stories, which are the really good ones. Um, and then they talk to you, meet other people through them, and these other people's stories are really, really good. Um, so yeah, you can get a real good education. You just gotta hang out for a while and let people talk about what they did and want to do and what they even what they thought they did. Hey, if it's a good story, it's a good story. It doesn't matter what the truth is, right? So um, that's a pretty good thing. But that was a lot of fun. What was nice out there because it's desert. Um, I had a honey hole for uh, project cars out in the desert. It was because when I moved there, Vegas was this big. Then I got like this big, and it got small again, and I got big. But there's houses everywhere. But anyway, before the big expansion, there was these junkyards way outside of town, and then same thing. You just got to go and talk and meet people and find out who's actual, runs a joint and who actually owns the cars that are in storage in the joint, and you kind of pick one and you get it towed back. But what's cool about the desert cars is there's absolutely no rust on them. The paint shot and the interior is shot, but you could put the car up on jack stands, spray it down with WD 40, and you could take the whole car apart in an afternoon. They just kind of fall apart like Legos, real easy. So it's was quite a treat versus you're up north, the rusty folks, which you can spend 2-3 hours on one bolt that you can't get off. So Robert Meyer, been to Vegas twice. Was tired out from walking. Yeah, those casinos are farther apart than they look. Yeah, and then there actually is. Most of them have tunnels in between them. There's shortcuts, and there's like a rolling flat escalator. I don't know, a moving walkway. But you don't show your tourists that stuff. That's the locals know, so they can go in and get out of the sun and go from place to place and not get tired. They're not going to tell you about those passages or anything like that. Playing tour guide, but yeah, there is. Yeah, you can wear yourself out walking up the strip. You're like, oh, it'll just be the strip, and it's miles and miles, more than you think it is. And there's people everywhere, and it's crowded, and there's noises and smells and lights, and it's kind of sensory overload. It's kind of fun. Um, Shadow Ops. Never did Red Flag. While stationed in Florida, did war games at K55 though. Okay. Do you, Rick Harris, Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, Pawn Stars fame? Do I know him? No. I knew where it was. It's a tiny little dump of a place. TV makes it look much bigger than it actually is. It's a very, very small, dumpy pawn shop. As seen on TV, looks a lot better. Buddy, when I moved to Boston, a lot of people visited. Don't know if they missed me or wanted a free hotel room. Sorry. Conveyor belt. Yeah, it was a walking conveyor belt, a moving walkway like they have in the big airports. You go in terminal, but they're like under in between casinos and things. You just got to know where they are. Anybody? Well, Boston's not easy if you don't know anyone really. And the Boston, well, you're out there. Boston traffic sucks. I've flown into there for work a few times, and you flow in, you land, you're in downtown, you go across the water, you go under bridges, and you with 8 million people. Oh, it's 5 miles away. Well, 3 hours later, yeah. You mentioned Amherst. How do you know that town? Just from work travels and things like that. So, um, yeah, I think Bush internationally. Yeah, Bush has them. Atlanta has them. Denver has them. All the big airports and stuff like that. They got those moving walkways. Um, I could name 100 airports that have all that stuff in them. But in between the casinos, they're nice and they're air conditioned and they're underground and there's nobody in them, and it's actually very nice. Um, lived there probably 8 years of my life, Amherst and nearby. Oh, okay. So you went from Buffalo to Boston? You went east? Why didn't you go south? It doesn't snow down here. So maybe more than that. I lost track. Oh, okay. Well, it's all fuzzy memories anyway, so no big deal. But this week coming up. So coming up this week, need to get over to the Midnight Speed Lab and get my Ranger out of the storage over there and bring it back to the house. Take the Belvedere over there, put the Belvedere in storage, and we'll do stuff with that after our little stuff with this dragster. And then over the winter, first I got to sell this Barracuda. So somebody please buy this damn Barracuda. Now, I was born in Boston, lived in Western Massachusetts a lot before rents got too much. And then I started moving around with my ex. Oh, okay. So, normal story. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Get the Ranger back at the house. Sell the Barracuda. Someone needs this 65 Barracuda. Maybe you, maybe a friend, but you should tell all your friends that to go on the national marketplace and look for 65 Barracuda and come with some cash and take it away, please. Anyway, so bring the Ranger back. Painting the bumpers on the Falcon now because they're fiberglass. Reassembling the Falcon. Get the Ranger here. The Ranger, I need to do rear suspension work because it's kind of got a homemade janky underlift bar and the bars aren't thick enough and they bend and stuff like that. So now when it's really turned up and the boost hits at 12, 13 pounds, the whole thing just wants to go just dead left. And it's just the rear of the thing is just steering this thing into the left-hand wall. So I need to cut all that out and probably go with something like a Caltrax or some kind of setup like that that's a little bit adjustable. Maybe throw a rear sway in there. You need a rear sway bars for Rangers off Explorers and some Rangers and things like that, Mountaineers. A junkyard piece, but it helps control that weirdness. The Ranger frame is thin, so it moves around a lot with a lot of power. So anything to tie everything together works muy bueno good. Okay. Robert Meyer, question. Have an 06 E450 box fan with the Mighty V10. When hard on the throttle, occasionally get some pinging. Have been told sometimes V10s just ping. What say you? It's not so much the V10, it's the box van body itself. Because what happens to those, in my experience, is just the underhood heat is a lot, and you're sucking in 140, 130, 140, 150 degree air. It's just thin So you're sucking in thin air. The airflow meter shows, you're sucking in a lot of thin air. So thin air and the opposing fueling, so it's actually leaner than it should be, and you get ping. Take the hood off and drive. No, but it's mostly from. It's not so much the V10. It's just the underhood heat and the high air intake temperatures. My buddy has a 68 GTO. He has no room for a project car. Well, what he can do, he can bring me the 68 GTO, and I will hold on to it for him. He can buy the Barracuda and take all the time he wants to redo it. And then when he's done, he can come pick up the GTO if it's still here. Buddy, would a F-150 be better for a Ranger? Would F-150 be better for Ranger drive terrain? If I'm reading that right, no. Actually, if you're going to build a V8 Ranger, try and find, if you could still find around somewhere, a running, driving, two-wheel drive 96 to 98 Ford Explorer, because those have a 302 with an overdrive trans and cruise control and power steering and power brakes, and all that stuff swaps over. And the computer is an OBD2, so it's tunable. So like an early Explorer motor or F-150 motor and stuff like that, the pre-96 ones, so, add them all up, are the E4 computer or worse, the OBD1 stuff, not tunable. So if you're like me and you want to do it cheap, you want to do it right, look for that Explorer, that V8 Explorer, not the 4.6 Explorers, which you can use, but the 302 Explorers from 96 to 98 with the overdrive automatic transmission or a 5-speed. I don't think they ever made a 5-speed V8 Explorer, maybe. And the two-wheel drive, so you don't have to change the tail shaft and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff just drops right in, plugs right in. The engine plugs into the harness most years. The last one I did like that, it was an 02 Ranger and a 97 Explorer, engine, transmission, computer, all that kind of stuff. Plugged into the harness because the wiring didn't change. You can actually go into you pull the cluster out of your Ranger and you turn it upside down and you take out the main connector and you take the tack wire and you move it from like pin 2 to pin 4, and now it's V8. And so your tack works, your fuel gauge works, your temperature works, your charge light works, your speedometer works, all the lights work. It's actually like the best thing to do if you can still find that setup. If not, use the F-150, 302 or 351. Beagle Bob, what's going on, buddy? I met Beagle Bob at Kiwis a few weeks ago. I think he was probably headed. Did you go to Sykeston, Bob? Is that where you're doing all the way up here from Arizona? But yeah, cool guy. Hey, Bob. Robert Meyer makes sense. It gets hot under there. Yeah. He's keeping the goat. He's fine-tuning the carb on it. LOL. Okay. If it were better off, I'd definitely be interested in scribbles. Just dive right in. Send me an email. I'll tell you how much you can buy it for. And you just send me the check and you just send the transport to pick it up, and wham-a-lamma ding dong, it's up in Boston in a few days, and you've got something to play with. Buddy, have a supercharged 6.2 23 Raptor, was wondering how strong the frame was. On a Ranger? Not very. They're not made for a 600 horse 6.2 liter. stuff like that. And then why I say use the Explorer, then I'll shut up about it. The exhaust fits. You take the rear end right out of the Explorer and put it right in the Ranger, and like a flip kit, so you lower the back end down. Because then you have V8 overdrive, cruise control, four-wheel disc brakes, all that kind of stuff for, when you're just chopping up an old Explorer. Big Bob. Oh, okay. Getting out of the Marines, back in Arizona now, leaving for good this week. Well, good to you, sir, and thank you. Much like many of us here, thank you for your service. I meant if I were better off. I'm in Georgia at the minute. Well, you're close. You just come get it. Easy. Make a hood scoop for the fresh air. Yeah, something. It's more getting that heat out because it's in a van in the doghouse. It just sits there and spins over you. If you could have some kind of like heat extractor, take a hood scoop and flip it around so it's open to the windshield and just let the heat out of that van, would probably help a ton. Raptor's F-150 already own it. Why you want to chop it up? But I mean, it's a Raptor, right? A 6.2 Raptor. Don't chop it up. Just drive that. But I should make a hood scoop for fresher. Like I said, yeah, just get some of the heat out. Granddad's junk. What's going on? How you doing, bud? Thanks for popping in. And what else we got going on? So anyway, want to get the Ranger back for the winter. Like I said, it's the rear end is the rear suspensions. It'll kill me. Okay, so I take out that homemade rear lift arm suspension that's in there. Just cut that all off. Get a set of Caltrax. Go through the leaf spring bushings. Caltrax makes a split monoleaf for a Ranger. I don't know if I want to do the springs, but once I pull the springs down, I'll see the condition of the bushings. If it needs new bushings in the springs to keep everything centered, install the Caltrax stuff. Preload the passenger side a little more than the driver's side to keep it straight under acceleration and stuff like that. And see it goes. And then there's some things I want to do on the front end of the steering and things like that. A few things I want to fix on it that I've been living with. That probably should be fixed. KJ Kylie, yeah, Ford Amplin's have those chrome heat extractors in the hood, right? For that same thing that Robert's having, heat under the hood. You got to get that heat out. Or if you can, actually, I've seen a guy take the back of the hood on his van. It was a E250, I think it was, stuff like that, with like a 460 in it. But he just shimmed up the back of the hood so that hood seal was open. He said that helped a lot. I mean, he was in the desert and didn't have to worry about rain and stuff like that a lot. So that's something you have to contend with. But yeah, some kind of heat, get the heat out of the engine bay, and everybody will be happy. Probably would have stayed in if I could. Being a wrench turner. Force reshape sucks. Into that, yeah, they do that. They did that when I was into. They were like, we're gonna get rid of everybody. Depends who's sitting in the White House, I guess. Hey Doc, the 54 custom line is running. Cool. Do you have, Granddad? Do you have pictures or video of that thing running? I want to see that. That would be cool. The turbo flathead Kajingas mobile. Yeah, if there's video of that or pictures of that, let me know. That a 5 E5? Okay. Low granddad. Oh, because of that. Yeah. What are you gonna do? If you shoulda, woulda, coulda, did you? You didn't. You did something else. Life goes on. Um, Robert, seen those ambulance heat extractors. Now I have another project to do. Can never have too many projects. And you could probably, there's probably an ambulance or two in your local junkyard, because those guys are always ripping around, you know, half crazy, 20-year-olds who got an EMT job. Uh, you know, we've been in and out of traffic, with the sirens on, thinking they're invincible. And then, so, yeah, ambulances do get wrecked. Um, that would be a son of a bitch, wouldn't it? They'd pick you up in the ambulance and you're all jacked up. That's why you're in the ambulance. And then the meathead up front, T-bones another car because he's doing 80 miles an hour and going up the wrong side of the road with the lights on. Yeah, that would probably suck. They'd have to send another ambulance to get you out of that ambulance. You're probably not having a good day. And then I'll take a look at something here. I gotta type. Hood heat extractors. Ford ambulance. Ford heat extractor. Da-da-dee-dee-dee. Ford ambulance. Did I not spell it right? Ooh. Space. Ambulance. Heat extractor. Let's just go with that. Let's see what we got here. Nothing conclusive. No. Let's heat extractor. Oh, there we go. Spell it right, Art. Pictures of ambulances and stuff. I'm a different scene. Top flight. Nope. It's a rabbit hole. We'll get out of here. We'll get out of here. There's no good to be done here. Going down this rabbit hole. Dashboard. Um, with a new channel, if there is a good thing about it, we got 244 subscribers came back out of 10,000 in the first few weeks here. So is what it is. The old channels is eviscerated, not to come back and stuff like that. So the email recovery is not the guy that has it's not. They're not going to give it up for whatever reason. They're still using it and they're not going to give it up. So hopefully they eventually get caught and purged and stuff. And then one day I'll get that original email back. And then we can go from there. World of Wood Chip, 243 subs. Yeah, time to quit your day job. That's exactly right. You're making no money and beating your head. Let's just stop working. Yeah, wondering why I wasn't seeing your lives or videos because, that channel got hacked. I got my email hacked, and then they took my email and my YouTube channel and gone. Zapped my laptop. This is a brand new one. I had to get a new laptop. Still got paid from YouTube for last month, but That's going to end. So start over. I was able to salvage some videos I saved because of about 6 months ago on that old laptop. Every video I done was on there. So 1,500 videos were on there. And I'm like, that's a lot of crap to keep on your laptop. Let me just delete these because they're forever on Mother Google. Wrong. But I did manage to get a few. And then a few years ago, I saved a bunch of videos. I put a bunch of videos up on Rumble just to see if Rumble was worth a shit, and it's not. But those videos were there, and they weren't just links. They were actually, they do whatever to them. So it's a whole, its whole little, folder of video. So it's your video, but it's not a link. They actually reproduce it there and put it on there. So I was able to get those. So that's why if you're on the new channel, you've been seeing a video every day that pops up the next day at midnight because there's stuff scheduled until probably about the end of the month, this month, for the ones that I saved. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's if you're wondering why, yeah, hit the new sub and hit the like and hit the bells and whistles and kajinguses. KG Kyle, at least you didn't lose your $10 million Bitcoin account. That's right. That would have been something. Don't take my $10 billion in Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm not panicking, and I have to go back. I was real cranky about it for a while, but then I realized I did it. I clicked on something I should have. Can't get it back. Tried avenues and things, emails, phone calls, put a lot of effort into trying to get it back, and even talked to live people at Google, and they're like, sorry about your luck. Basically, they don't really care that much. Yeah, be like Fun with Cars. He watches every video and comments and things like that, and he got his mother to subscribe and everything else too. So, be like Fun with Cars and chip on to the new channel. Jerry Van was here. Jerry, are you still here, or did you cash in and go to bed? What's going on? I have questions for you, sir. So if you're still here. You really made a big time getting targeted like that. I don't think so. I don't think 10,000 subs is big time. I was more mad about the Gmail account because there's everything on there. That's how all the world was getting a hold of me for all these computer tunes and everything like that. So that's a lot of that went away, but I had a decent amount of those JTech tuning videos that I put up. And slowly I'm starting to get people trickling back in needing computer tunes and stuff like that, because that was lucrative before the hack for me. Was doing all kinds of them, but it's just onesie Tuesday now. So I'd be more happy getting all that back. Okay, Jerry, you am here. Okay. Jerry's had victories in the last few weeks, and I'll speak for him, and he can tell everybody and pipe in. But he's been working on a 60 or 62 Comet for Coon's age, and then he's got it up and ripping and making noise and going through gears and scaring his boss to death at work and stuff like that. So kudos to him for sticking it out and stuff like that. So everyone say congratulations to Jerry. And it's a pretty cool old car. He did a lot of work to it. So and did it all himself. And so that's good. 240 subs. So pretty soon you can go for an Uncle Scrooge money swim. Yeah, pretty soon. Any day now, right? Yeah, as soon as hit a few million subs. So to go from 244 to 2 million is going to take a minute. And then I have to, be creative and make videos and do all this shit over again, and it's a 61. So he's got a 61 Comet. It's not the Ford or a Mercury. It's just a Comet, because at the time, Comet was its own deal. Well, Google yourself a 1961 Comet two-door and put some fat tires on it and things like that, and a little Ripon 289 and a handshaker in it, and that's what he's got. So it's a pretty cool little project car. Yeah, it scared you. He scared your mom too. Well, good. Scare those neighbors behind you, and then your boss at work and your mom. Scare everybody with that car. Good news, because it looks like it might be a little possessed or wicked, and it makes good noises now, real good noises. So that's all good. Let's see if nobody sent any pictures or emails today. Oh my gosh, what's going on? What is going on? We still got time. Cool, Jerry. Are you going to send some pictures? Do I have? I may have. Let me look in the archives. I got a little video of it the last time he was in it. I could play that. Is that okay? Is that okay? Wheelie King sending now. All right, cool. Turn the volume up on this dude. Wait for the. What happened? Is that it? God damn it. Phones are horrible. Why is this thing doing? Why won't it play? But you get the idea. A nice smoke forward headers and some header mufflers and stuff like that. So it's good. It's good. It's good noises. Granddad Junk, we're heading over to the swap meet tomorrow, and to the 54, I will do a video and picture. Cool. Yeah, that's what's in the phone, Jerry. Was just that last video. There might be more, but get the idea. I don't have the one where you're screaming in it though. That's a pretty good one. But anyhow, so that's the plans. Do the stuff on the dragster. Go to work. Get the Ranger back here. Get the rear suspension figured out in that. Do a little bit with the steering. I got to strip and repaint the hood. If I can do all that over the winter on that truck, I'll be happy. Meanwhile, need to sell the Barracuda. Someone needs to buy the Barracuda so that can go away from my house into someone else's house. Make room so I can bring the Falcon. I can finish the Falcon, put that thing back together, because that's a running and driving car, which would be fun for fall and stuff like that, because it's a little, turbo 5-speed V8 64 Ford Falcon that weighs nothing with big fat tires in the back. So it's a good time. It bounced back as undeliverable. Let's see. Hide that. And that dr.artsstuff21@gmail.com, Willie King? Or maybe it was, oh no, let's see what's here. Buddy sent some pictures. What do we got here? Oh yeah, here we go. Let me put this down here. This is for you, Robert. Oh, whoa, this is weird. It's doing Windows 11 weird stuff. Hang on. Studio and settings. No, behave computer, behave. Here we go. Share screen. Here we go. Google image result. Yes. And put it on the screen. Come on, add to stage. There you go. There's the hood extractors for the van. That would do it. That would get the fresh air in. Maybe some side ports to get the hot air out, and you'd be good to go. Wheelie King, yep. All right. I don't know why it bounced back, but like I said, it might just be a big file or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But that's an hour, folks. Went by pretty quick tonight. Thanks everybody for being here. Excuse me. Like, share, subscribe, comment, get your friends to subscribe. Send their money, buy the Barracuda. Wheelie King's going to try and send a picture again, so we'll hang out and see if we get that pop up in our email. Open up the email. Open up. There's. Oh, yep. Oh, yes. Yes, this was worth it. Thank you very much. 71, 72, something like that. All right, folks, I'm working on sharing this thing, so I got to put this down here. With this computer and push this here, and then go to here and share screen. And then Wheelie King 71, so 71. Oh, this does not work like it used to. There we go. So that's impressive, sir. Just the one picture, but that's okay. I like it. I like it a lot. It's got the perfect look to it. Tell us a little bit more about it. There we go. We can zoom in a little bit. It says something Magnum on the hood. I can't read it. But it's got torque thrust and everything else like that. It's a 71383 Magnum. Nice. Good color, cool hood, vinyl top for the win. The fancy fuel cap. I like it. That's nice. What does everybody else here think? But I think that's a cool car. That was worth waiting for. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Face out 3 times daily and pray for a doctor. That's right. That's right. The only problem with that car is not my garage. Yeah, that's right. That car is cool. That car is really cool. But that's it, folks. Appreciate you all for stopping by, each and every one of you. And buy the Barracuda. It's on Nashville Marketplace. Send me an email, get you a smoking deal. You can own a part of American car history, and I can get it out of my garage. So thank you, and good night, and we'll talk to you later.